Everyone told me barbering was a dead-end job. You're just gonna cut hair for the rest of your life? That's what my cousin said when I told him what I wanted to do after high school. He went to college. For years. $67,000 in debt. He's 24 now, working at a job that has nothing to do with his degree, making $38,000 a year. But me, I'm in my third year behind the chair. I control my own schedule. I know every person in my neighborhood. And on a good Saturday, I pocket more than some people make in a full week at their office job. Real talk. Most people have absolutely no idea what the barbering industry actually looks like in 2026. Not the Instagram version. Not the YouTube highlight reel. The real version, with the actual numbers, the stuff that almost broke me in year one, and the path that the top barbers in America are quietly using to build serious wealth. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to break down everything about becoming a barber in America, the real money, the hidden costs, the stuff nobody posts on Instagram, and whether you should actually do this with your life. Let's go. Let me paint you a picture of what a Tuesday actually looks like as a barber. You show up around 9 in the morning, maybe 9:30 if you set your own hours. You sweep your station, sanitize your tools, and check your appointments. Because yes, in 2026 the good barbers are fully booked in advance. Your first client walks in at 10. You talk, you cut, you build a relationship. This isn't just haircuts. This is therapy. This is networking. This is community. By 2 in the afternoon you've done maybe 5 or 6 clients, your feet hurt, and your back is starting to feel it. This is the part nobody shows you on TikTok. By 6 in the evening on a good day you've seen 10, maybe 12 people. You're tired, but you're also holding cash in your hand that you earned with a skill nobody can outsource, nobody can automate, and nobody can ever take away from you. Here's the thing about barbering. People imagine it's like the movies with cool music, laughing all day, and easy money. The reality is that it's physically demanding, and you are on your feet for 8 to 10 hours straight. Your shoulders, your wrists, your lower back, they will all start talking to you by year 2. But here's the other reality that people miss completely. This job is basically running a small business inside someone else's building, and your success depends entirely on your skill, your personality, and your ability to make people feel good enough to come back and bring their friends. That's the whole game right there. Alright, let's talk about the part everyone actually wants to know, the money. And I'm going to be straight with you because the numbers you see on Google are not the numbers you're going to see in your first year. Not even close. Most barbers in their first year are making somewhere between $22,000 and $35,000. That's the honest number. Before you click off, stay with me because here's what nobody explains. When you're starting out, you're slow, and a cut that takes an experienced barber 30 minutes takes you 55 minutes. That's not an insult, that's just physics. You do fewer clients per day, and your tips are smaller because your work isn't as tight yet. And here's the part that actually surprised me. If you're renting a booth at a barbershop, which is how most barbers work, you're paying somewhere between $600 and $1,200 a month for that chair. Every single month. Whether you have clients or not. That is your rent before you make a single dollar. So in year 1, the goal is not to get rich. The goal is to get fast, get consistent, and build your book of clients. By year 3, if you've been putting in the work, practicing, posting your cuts on Instagram, building real relationships, you're looking at $52,000 to $75,000 a year. In a good market with a loyal client base, that number goes even higher. And here's what separates someone making $45,000 from someone making $75,000 in this field. It's not just the haircut. It's the experience. The barber making $75,000 has a wait list. Their clients don't leave because they can't get that same feeling anywhere else, and they've built a personal brand that people trust. The mindset shift that happens around year 3 is that you stop thinking like an employee and you start thinking like a business owner, even if you're still renting a booth. Top barbers in major American cities, New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Atlanta, Chicago, are clearing $90,000 to $140,000 a year. And I'm not talking about celebrity barbers. I'm talking about regular people who built a solid client base, raised their prices, and made smart moves. The ones who break through the ceiling do a few things differently. They raise their prices without apologizing. A $35 cut becomes $60, then $80, and their regulars don't leave because the relationship is worth more than the price difference. They add services like beard trims, skin fades, hot towel shaves, and kids cuts, and each one is additional revenue from the same client sitting in their chair. And the smart ones eventually open their own shop, which is a whole different conversation about risk and reward that I'll break down in a future video. Now, real quick, let's talk about the hidden costs because this stuff will catch you off guard. Your clippers alone, quality brands like Andis, Wall, and Babyliss, will run you between $200 and $600 just to have a professional setup, and that's before you replace the blades, buy your scissors, your guards, your spray bottles, and your cape. Getting started properly means budgeting between $1,200 and $2,000 in tools alone. Then there's taxes. Most barbers are self-employed, which means nobody is withholding anything for you, and the IRS does not care that you were busy. Set aside 25 to 30% of everything you make, every single week without fail. And the physical toll is real. Get a good pair of shoes for at least $150, get an anti-fatigue mat to stand on, and start stretching your back and shoulders now. Not when it starts hurting. Right now. Alright, so you're interested. Here's the real roadmap for how you actually get into this career. In America, barbering is a licensed profession and every single state requires you to get a license, no exceptions. To get your license, you need to complete a barbering program at an accredited school, and the hour requirement varies by state. Texas requires 1,500 hours, California requires 1,500 hours, New York requires 900 hours, and Florida requires 1,200 hours. Google your specific state and know your number before you enroll anywhere. The cost of barber school ranges from $8,000 on the low end at a community college program to $18,000 at a private cosmetology school, and the quality honestly varies wildly. More expensive does not always mean better training. Realistically, you're looking at 9 to 18 months to complete the program depending on whether you go full-time or part-time. Here's something a lot of people don't know. In many states, you can fulfill part of your training hours through an apprenticeship under a licensed barber. Instead of paying $18,000 for school, you're learning on the job and sometimes even getting paid while you learn. The trade-off is that finding a shop willing to take you on as an apprentice is harder than just enrolling in school. So you have to put yourself out there, walk into shops, ask questions, get rejected, and ask again. But if you find the right mentor, that relationship is worth more than any classroom experience. After school, you take your state board exam, both written and practical. A lot of people fail the first time, and that's okay, but you need to know that going in. The practical exam is stressful because they are watching every single move you make, so study the sanitation rules hard, because that's where most people lose their points. If you fail, most states let you retake within 90 days, but it costs money to retake, so budget for that possibility. And here's what you can do right now, literally this week. Walk into 5 barbershops in your city, not to ask for a job, but to observe, to ask questions, and to tell the owner you're thinking about barbering and you want to learn. Most barbers love talking about their craft, and you will learn more in 2 hours watching a real shop operate than in a week of watching YouTube videos. Also start practicing on people you know. Family members, friends, or mannequin heads from Amazon for about $30, and build your muscle memory before you even set foot in a school. Most people quit right at this stage because they see the licensing fees, the school costs, and the time investment and they walk away. But the people who push through that moment are the ones whose story gets interesting. Okay, this is the section I wish someone had played for me before I ever started. This is the stuff nobody is going to tell you. Trap number 1, the slow start will make you want to quit. Here's what happens. You finish school, you're excited, you get your license, you rent your booth, and you tell everyone you know. And then it's completely quiet. Week 1 maybe 3 clients, week 2 maybe 5. What nobody tells you is that building a clientele from zero takes 6 to 18 months, and some people never make it through that window because they run out of money, lose their confidence, and go back to a regular job. The fix is to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved before you even start, and to get on social media on day 1, not when you feel ready, but on day 1. Trap number 2, your body is your business and you are slowly destroying it. I've seen barbers in their late 30s with serious back problems, carpal tunnel, and knee issues, and the culture in barbering is to just push through the pain. The fix is to invest in an anti-fatigue mat for about $40 on Amazon, wear proper supportive shoes, and stretch every single morning. This is not optional. This is the difference between a 20-year career and a 7-year career. Trap number 3, the booth rent trap. Here's a scenario that plays out constantly. You're making decent money, maybe $800 a week before taxes, but your booth rent is $1,000 a month, your supplies cost another $150, and you haven't been setting aside anything for taxes. Then April comes and the IRS wants $5,000 that you already spent on other things. The fix is to treat taxes exactly like rent. The moment money hits your hand, 25 to 30% goes into a completely separate account that you touch for one reason only, and that reason is tax time. Trap number 4. Location is everything, and it is brutal. A barber in Beverly Hills charging $120 a cut and a barber in a struggling neighborhood charging $25 a cut can have the exact same skill level, and the zip code makes all the difference. This isn't fair, but it is completely real. What nobody tells you is that you have every right to move, to set up in a better market, or to drive 20 minutes to a shop in a stronger area even if it's not your neighborhood. The fix is to research your market before you commit to any location. Visit shops and see how busy they are on a Tuesday afternoon, because that is your real data. Trap number 5. Instagram is now part of your job description, and this one stings for a lot of people who just want to cut hair. In 2026, if you are not posting your work consistently, you are completely invisible to an entire generation of potential clients. The barbers growing the fastest right now are not necessarily the most skilled, they are the most visible. The fix is to post every single cut with a before and after photo every single day, not when you feel like it but every day, and it will feel completely pointless for the first 3 months, but you need to do it anyway. Here's what a realistic journey in this career actually looks like. From month 1 to month 6, you are slow, you are learning, and you are probably making less money than you expected. You are questioning your decision every other week, and that is completely normal. This period is the filter that removes the people who aren't truly serious about building this career. From month 6 to month 12, something starts to click. Your cuts get cleaner, you start getting referrals, and a few clients are now asking specifically for you by name. You're starting to see with your own eyes what this career could actually become. From year 1 to year 2, you have a real client base and you know your regulars by name, by family, by life story. Your income is consistent. Not amazing yet, but consistent. And you are no longer lying awake wondering if you made the right choice. From year 3 to year 5, the real options start to open up. You can raise your prices, you can move to a better shop, and you can start thinking seriously about opening your own place. Some people at this stage are making $70,000 to $90,000 a year and genuinely loving every day of their work life. From year 5 and beyond, the top 20% of barbers who reach this point have something that most working Americans never get. A skill that is completely recession-resistant, a community that genuinely depends on them, and multiple clear paths to grow their income even further. The people who make it in barbering share 3 specific things. They are obsessed with getting better, not satisfied, but truly obsessed. They treat every single client like that person is the most important individual in the room, because in that moment they actually are. And they show up consistently day after day, when everyone else is finding an excuse not to. That is the real secret to this career. So should you become a barber? Here is who this path is absolutely perfect for. You are someone who genuinely loves working with people. Not tolerates it, but loves it. You are someone who wants to build something that truly belongs to you. You are someone who gets deep satisfaction from creating something beautiful with your own hands. And you are someone who is completely okay with a slow and difficult start because you are thinking about where you will be in year 5, not just next month. If you grew up in a barbershop and that energy feels like home to you, that feeling is real data, and you should pay very close attention to it. Here is who should probably look elsewhere. If you need a guaranteed paycheck from the very first day, this path is going to cause you serious stress. If you are not willing to invest real time in social media and self-promotion, you will struggle in the modern barbering landscape. And if the physical demands of standing all day sound like too much for you, there are plenty of other skilled trades worth exploring, and we will break those down in future videos. No judgment either way, just complete honesty. Here is the one question to ask yourself before you make this decision. Can I spend the next 2 years building something, even when it is hard, even when it is slow, and even when absolutely nobody is watching, because I genuinely and deeply believe in where this path is going? If you can honestly answer yes to that question, then barbering might be exactly what you have been looking for all along. If you made it this far, you are already more serious about your future than 90% of people your age, and that matters more than you know. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you seriously considering barbering? Or is there another career you want me to break down next? I read every single comment that comes in, every one of them. If this video gave you something real today, you already know what to do. Like the video, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Let's build something together.